Abuja.
Amina.
Abuja is the capital city of Nigeria, created February 1976. Abuja, the symbol of unity, was created by the federal military government of the late Murtala Ramat Muhammad in 1976 through Decree Number 6 of the same year. General Olusegun Obasanjo created the Abuja Metropolitan Management Council. AMMC has 5 departments: Admin and Finance, Development Control, Facilities, Maintenance and Management, Parks and Recreation, and Urban Affairs. What is Development Control? Please join me. Let's take the views of some of the people that reside in Abuja.
Abuja, far back in 2000, when you're passing more special, like Jabi, you say a lot of places have been chalked up, a lot of criminal activities, kidnappings and stealing, pickpocket all around. But since development control have taken over Abuja, Abuja is the best home. You work at Wales, you do business freely. You know, it's a business-free place. You go out, nobody harass you. You work at will. Security is saved. You know.
The development control in Abuja, they are trying in one way or the other. But what I don't like in them is where somebody is building, that they know that the building is not supposed to erect there. Their work is to go around to know areas that are not supposed to erect any building. But they will see it, they will allow it. Even when they mark something on it that they have to demolish, they will be there. People will just cover the painting. And when they see that somebody is building to the extent that he has finished all that he has, financially, they will go and demolish it. It is wrong.
Like myself, I'm residing in Pape, and sometimes last year, they come and marked around. Even my resident there, they marked it. So, what we are expecting government to do, government is supposed to relocate us or do something.
In terms of development control, it depends on the elites would like the way things are going, because there's fresher air within the Abuja city itself. But for the masses, it's hard on them.
Well, actually, I like the city, but the city is a little bit somehow overcrowded, because you can see that there are parking places, there are parking vehicles anywhere, I mean. It's supposed to be just planned for about parking space so that whenever there is a need for a large vehicle, most especially this box, they can park them in order to avoid the risk of accidents.
The areas I personally see in the city that they can expand. They can, cut it off from the original plan to accommodate the influx.
Most people, when they hear development control, they associate the agency with demolition of building. especially private residential building. You want to know why? The Director of Development Control is here with me.
Development Control Department, as you have already known, is established by law, the Urban and Regional Planning Law 88 of 1992, as amended, and it has the role of ensuring that every property that is put up in the FCT, Federal Capital Territory as a whole, is in line with the master plan for both the city and the region. In doing this, the department also ensures that every property, such properties are complying with the provisions of the master plan. It means that we have to approve those buildings as they come in, process them, ensure that what properties we expect to see in every building to make them conform with the provisions of the master plan are there. And as you are aware, those properties are, different for different uses: residential, commercial, industrial, recreational. And for the residential, they are also in various densities: low, medium, and high. It's also our duty to ensure that when such buildings are approved from our end, what method and procedure is adopted in putting them up, as the days go by, are monitored by us. Not so much on a day-to-day basis, because for that, we ensure that there are particular registered engineers who, are on their own, and then attest to the fact that they are going to be held liable for whatever happens on those buildings. We also provide certificate of fitness for habitation once those buildings have been so put up in compliance with the requirements. So that over time, everybody can be comfortable, they can live well, relax well, and interact well in what structures may have been put up in those places. The department also has as function ensuring that any kind of development, structure, which is away from buildings, that is coming off the ground, like telecom mast, signages of various types, are in line with what provisions we have made for that, and that they are not going to be at cross purposes with what we want to see in the landscape. Because 35 years on, the city has also started showing signs of weakness in the buildings that you have. We have also taken upon ourselves the redecoration of those buildings. Not that we will do it ourselves, but at least making people who occupy these buildings or the owners to renovate them from time to time so that they can be elegant enough to meet the requirement of the aesthetics of the urban space. The department, in the process of doing this, goes round to ensure that we monitor what people are doing on a day-to-day basis, and in doing that, we have to remove those ones that are not in line with what we want to see. Unfortunately, this is the aspect that people look at. When I mentioned the fact that we approve building plans, for the year 2012, for instance, we approved as many as over 1,500 buildings. You know what employment that generates. Nobody knows that one. It is when we now carry out the demolition. Yeah, you need a building plan approval before you commence development so that we can encapsulate ahead what facilities you are going to put in that building. Because the aggregate of the various buildings put together in the urban space is what determines the health, safety, convenience of the people, or even the environment, for living, for working, for relaxation, for interaction between them. Because if those buildings are not previewed to be sure that what facilities you need to have in a house is there and in the right proportion, the space standards are met, you just discover that you are likely to have people expressing their ambition to the point that most of the buildings will be overbloated in size relative to the plot, or the density, the space standards you wanted to see in any environment will not be there. It becomes clumsy and you can't live. Nobody will enjoy the urban environment. So you need to get that approved plan before you can, so that what facilities you want to see, like down to kitchens, toilet, stores. They are all contained in the building, and everybody can, have the convenience right from that level, and up to situations where you have them in estates. As an estate, there are certain facilities you want to see. Even in the entire urban space, as you are aware, the master plan is such that you have a hierarchy of central places, from the neighborhood level to the district level to the sector center level, and then the city center as a whole. At every stage of this level, you are supposed to be able to move at a given distance and convenience level to get to what facility you want. So those who want to go to primary school on foot should be able to get that primary school at trekking distance.
As at now, I like the city because it's neat. It's neat. It looks nice, no matter the trekking.
We have so many ways that the public can get in touch with us. We have a Savicom unit that people can call, and the number is 080-3453-3130. And then we also have an email, info@fctdevcontrol.com. We also have a website that people can visit to get information, about us. For those that cannot come to the office, because we have some people that come to the office to make inquiries. But for those that cannot come, personally, they can go to our website, www.fctdevcontrol.com. The major challenge we have as a department is the issue of fake land papers that is all over in FCT. And this is a major issue to us, and we'd like to inform the public that before you buy any plots of land, make sure you get photocopies given to you and go to the relevant government agencies to confirm. This is very easy, it is very simple to do, because I don't know why people keep on buying fake papers and erecting them and going ahead to build structures without verifying if such papers are genuine or not. So if the public can assist us by making sure they verify the papers they are buying, it will go a long way in reducing the issue of removals that we have around the city now.
Let's take the views of some of the people.
I looked at Abuja in 2 years' time coming to be like a city of London, which everybody really want to live. Security-free, best place to be, good friends, and every home to be. I love the atmosphere, it's conducive, everywhere is neat, and I love the government plan, the development plan towards Abuja. Abuja is serene. I hope it's the best place that everybody want to be, compared to every part of the world. I see Abuja in 2 years' time as one of the best world, the best city that everybody would want to be. So Abuja is a real home to be. I love Abuja so much. And I so much loved about what the development controls are doing in Abuja.
As I went into Central District, I saw so many cars by the roadside. When owners of the plot develop them, where shall they park these cars?
It looks nice. The park of the vehicle around the area is no more like that. No matter we are trekking, it's part of exercise, and which will have a solution in future. That's the way. Thank you.
Selling the goods along the roadside, I think is not wise enough, for more especially as federal capital.
They said they're trying to meet up with the Abuja master plan.
So previously there was insecurity in Abuja. Abuja is the best place to be. It's serene, So I loved the policies of the development controls and the government, the federal government itself.
Talking of master plan, most modern cities have development control. Example, United Kingdom, America, Brazil, Dubai, South Africa, and so on. If Abuja is to take its rightful place as a modern capital city in the world, like other major planned cities, then there is a need to follow the master plan.
And I'm the coordinator of AMMC, which is the Abuja Metropolitan Management Council. Used to be AMAC in the past, or AMA in the past. And I do coordinate 5 departments. The Department of Urban Affairs, Department of Parks and Recreation, Department of Admin and Finance, Department of Facilities Management and Development Control. Those 5 departments are under my purview to coordinate the functions. And we're basically the city managers of Abuja. We try our best to manage the city, keep the city functioning properly for use of residents. Well, I think most of the criticisms are unfair and unwarranted because they're not based on reality. The truth is that on our part, we may not have had enough public sensitization of what we are doing. But again, you can only sensitize so much and publicize so much. But the criticisms are not warranted, they're really baseless. We are saddled with the authority to maintain the master plan of the city, to be able to control growth in the city, to control development in the city. And most of the demolitions or removals we do are legal, are based on legal structures, illegal developments, shanties and things like that. People do not have the right in any civilized society to go and build houses or residences or structures where they don't have approvals to do that. And we on our own, on a daily basis, go out to try to sanitize the city and clean up all these illegal demolitions. And the fact that we're doing that very well shows that most times people try to take us to court or try to look for some kind of reimbursement for demolitions, and most times they lose, because before we go out to do any demolitions, we ensure that those structures are illegal and should not be there. We're not selective, we're really unbiased going out doing our jobs. So people ought to realize that we don't take pleasure in demolishing buildings. We don't take pleasure in removing buildings. However, they must be done, else Abuja will become a big slum. And I can tell you that the founding fathers of this city would not want that to happen. The current minister is on a daily basis ensuring that the city is maintained the way it should be. When you travel to other cities of the country and you come to Abuja after all, you're actually proud. You see organization, you see civility, you see planning, you see a planned city. We ought to maintain it that way. Unfortunately, there are people out there who, if given the opportunity, would build anywhere. They don't care. We are here to make sure we control development, legally, of course. So the public ought to realize that we're human beings like them, and we're not out here to hurt anybody. We're not out here to cause harm or pain to anybody, but people must also realize that they must do the right thing. A lot of Nigerians who travel abroad, they see cities abroad, well developed, well planned, and they praise those cities, and yet they come to Abuja and want to build all kinds of shanties and structures that are illegal. We will not relent. We're going to ensure that the city is maintained and the master plan is maintained. And I know the Director of Development Control is determined to ensure that he does his job properly, without bias and without fear or favor. Well, our vision is quite simple. We intend to develop a city that is reflective of modern day cities across the world. There's no reason why Abuja cannot be like Brasilia in Brazil, or be like Berlin, be like Washington, D.C. And Abuja is an administrative capital, not a commercial capital, not a business capital. It's an administrative capital of Nigeria. And so we ought to look like an administrative capital. Our vision is to ensure that the master plan is enforced. We have a very beautiful master plan that was designed that we're trying to enforce, to keep the city clean, keep it organized, keep it safe, and keep it attractive, not only for Nigerians, but also foreigners. We want foreigners to come into Abuja and wonder if they're in London or Washington or Tokyo. And that's very possible. If you currently drive from the city to the airport, you know, the 10-lane highway which we have, you could be in any city in the world. You really could be. And so we ought to transform Abuja to that vision of a city that we can all be proud of. Proudly Nigerian, if you will.
This is where the Department of Development Control performs its duty to make sure the master plan is followed. the public must cooperate with the development agencies by abiding with the rules and regulations that guide property development. If we abide by the rules and regulations, we will have a good living city. Thank you.